he walked past two U.S. deputy marshals. They spotted him getting out of a cab in front of the justice's home around 1:05 a.m. He walked right past them down the street with murder on his mind. It wasn't until he stopped and said, I'm going to call 911 and confess I feel suicidal and homicidal, that anything was done to this guy. So the security system doesn't seem so good.
It's sort of intriguing to think of the hypocrisy too. The whole country, I think, is rightfully aghast at the horrible murders that happened in Uvalde, Texas, and thinking of ways, how could we stop these kind of things from happening? Well, we should also be thinking about how could we stop, the assassination of a justice from happening? How could we stop violence and intimidation of justices from happening before it happens? And we know what we should do. They should enforce the law. So if you want an 18-year-old that ends up being a mass murderer to stop, it means you need to arrest them in advance when they commit crimes. If they kill the neighbor's pets, if they are threatening other students, they have to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Now, they get their day in court, they get a lawyer, but they should be prosecuted. But the same goes for this. Instead of turning the other way and the White House saying, oh, protests, nothing to see here, peaceful protests. Well, no, what we need to do is use the laws on the book, prosecute these people, have them removed, and but they're not doing it. And it is going to lead to violence. And that's why, we ought to do something. The person who leaked this did this with the intention of intimidation, and their leak is going to be related to the violence. They need to be prosecuted to the nth degree, to whatever possible crime that, if there is a crime there, they need to be prosecuted. At the very least, they should be fired and disbarred.
Yeah. And you know what? Any future contributorship on MSNBC, et cetera, is done now. It's done. You don't do something that directly places the life of a U.S. Supreme Court justice in danger, almost gets him and his family murdered, even in today's society, and wind up with a paying deal on MSNBC. That's not going to happen. The outrage over that will be too loud for them to ignore.
Let's hope that that's not their end result, is that the left embraces them. But this is sort of the hypocrisy that goes on the left. The left is horrified when someone on their side is somehow intimidated or shot at. But it's amazing the comments that have gone on for years about the shooting at the ball field with Steve Scalise, done by a left-wing lunatic. For years, I was attacked for political reasons by someone who, attacked me from behind, had 6 ribs broken, had part of my lung removed, suffered for years from this. And on internet, the left wing thinks it's funny. They think it's hilarious, and they encourage people on a daily basis to come and finish the job. Mm-hmm. And so it is amazing when you see the left and see the double standard. They don't seem to be too concerned about the justices' lives because they're only showing up at conservative justices' houses. If the shoe were on the other foot and this were a more liberal justice, I think you might, at that point, see some sympathy from the left and the left-wing media.
What do you make of it? Because the White House put out a written statement. President condemns the actions of this individual in strong terms, grateful to law enforcement. He's made consistently clear that judges and other public officials should do their jobs without concern for their personal safety or their families. Any threats of violence or attempts to intimidate judges have no place in our society. Okay, it's like a written statement. I mean, I wonder what you think. But Ben Sass is out there saying he needs to get out there and personally and forcefully condemn violence and threats against the sitting Supreme Court justices.
But it needs to be more than just condemning the one shooter. We need to condemn all 500 people that are out in front of a house. They shouldn't be allowed to be there. Look, our attorney general had a difficult case in our state involving the police and involving a shooting, and there were 100 people on his lawn. We can't allow that to happen. I think they finally were arrested for being on the lawn, but you really have no right to stand on the sidewalk with a bullhorn and disrupt someone's privacy, really at any time, but particularly all night long. They should not be allowed to do this. It should be disturbing the peace at the very least. It won't be a very significant penalty, but they'll be arrested and removed. And the more they continue to do it and show contempt for the law, the longer the sentencing would get. But we should enforce the law. If you don't enforce the law against some of these more minor crimes, what they do is they lead to bigger and bigger crowds where there's more of a danger of someone actually concealing themselves within the crowd that's going to commit violence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy said that, just for people who haven't read the morning paper, he said that he came to kill. He called Montgomery County Emergency Communication Center, 911. He said, "I'm suicidal and I've come to kill a specific Supreme Court judge." He had the Glock 17, 2 magazines, ammo, pepper spray, tactical knife, hammer, screwdriver, crowbar, zip ties, duct tape, along with other gear. Said he came from California, and he said, "I am upset over the leaked draft of the Supreme Court decision on Roe versus Wade." On the case is called Dobbs. Also upset about the school shooting in Uvalde, and also upset thinking this justice might support looser gun laws. His plan was to kill Justice Kavanaugh and then himself, according to the FBI affidavit, thinking that it would give his life purpose. When asked how he found Justice Kavanaugh's home address, the complaint states he said he would kill him and decided to kill him after finding the justice's Montgomery County address on the internet. Now, it's posted, and this group Ruth Sent Us, which continues to protest outside of his house and encourage others to join them, says today in a tweet, "Stop blaming us for disclosing Kavanaugh's address. Just search Twitter. It's all out there, including second homes and summer villas, etc." There's no remorse for adding to that. There's no remorse for continuing to go to the guy. Like, maybe the night that he almost got murdered and his teenage daughters almost got murdered, you don't show up. Maybe that's the day you take a night off from protesting.
Well, look, Google and YouTube will take down a video of me saying that cloth masks don't work, but they're unwilling to take down the address of a Supreme Court justice. And really, this is above and beyond even the law. They have the ability as private companies to take things down, but they're not. So, wouldn't you think that they would care about intimidation and possible violence? They should be voluntarily taking down the addresses of Supreme Court justices as well as politicians. I mean, putting those addresses up there just puts people at risk. Think about it. In a country of 330 million people, how many people out there are looking for, have some sort of mental illness, looking for a way to commit suicide by committing a murder and having the police shoot them, or having their sort of day in fame as they commit suicide? It's unfortunately not a few people. It's more than a handful of people. You would think it might be to the tune of hundreds of people that might fit in that category. And when you announce where you can go and how you can, do this, it's an invitation to crazies. And no, I think we need to do a better job, both right and left, of being of the mind that this kind of stuff should not be broadcast. And really, ideally, the private entity should step up. And, Twitter claims that they want to, that they're against violence. But if you go on Twitter on any day, you can read hundreds of people tweeting that the person that attacked me should come back and finish the job. The person that attacked me from behind, broke 6 of my ribs, damaged my lung, that person should come back and finish the job. Many of these people are actually so-called celebrities that enjoy and think that this is just hilarious. The problem is they may think it's hilarious, but what about the crazy person who reads that and says, well, I think I will be. I'm the one to go over there and finish the job if somebody will post his address. So it's disgusting, but it's definitely a double standard where the left doesn't seem to care.
Black Rifle Coffee Company is a veteran-founded company serving premium coffee to people who love America. They develop their explosive roast profiles with the same mission focus learned as military members serving this great country. Black Rifle Coffee imports high-quality coffee beans from Colombia and Brazil, and they roast them 5 days a week at their facilities in Manchester, Tennessee, and Salt Lake City, Utah, which means you get the freshest coffee possible no matter where you live. Enjoy the awesome packaging and unique flavors like Silencer Smooth and Lava Panther. The best way to enjoy Black Rifle's freedom-filled coffee is with the Black Rifle Coffee Club. When you join the club, your brew of choice gets roasted, packaged, and shipped free to your door on your schedule. Buy it at blackriflecoffee.com and use the code MK at checkout for 20% off your purchase and your first coffee club order. That's blackriflecoffee.com/MK and use the code MK on checkout. Black Rifle Coffee is America's coffee. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.